A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the technical difficulties and thank you so much for staying with us. Welcome back once again to the Digital Banking Symposium 2020, co-organized by the Singapore Fintech Association and the Banking and Financial Services Union. We're starting off day 2 with an impressive lineup of speakers for our first panel discussion of the day. They will be discussing the topic of emerging technology in financial services and its impact on jobs. With me live today, I have Mr. Ng Nam Sin, the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute of Banking and Finance, Ms. Tracy, the Director of Industry Development Division 2 at Skills Future, Mr. Rex Lay, Managing Director, Cloud and AI Business at Huawei Singapore, Ms. Janet Young, MD and Head, Group Channels and Digitalization at UOB Limited. And last but not least, moderating today's discussion will be Ms. Wong Wan Yi, the FinTech Leader and Financial Services Partner at PwC Singapore. The panel will be sharing their insights on the pace of the inevitable change in the finance industry as banks and other financial institutions continue to adopt digital solutions at an increasing pace. There is now an urgent need for financial workers to stay relevant. While supporting this change as Singapore remains on top as the leading financial hub of the world. And without further ado, I will hand my time over to Ms. Wong to introduce the panel. Ms. Wong, over to you.
Thank you. A very good morning to all. My name is Wan Yi. I'm very honored to moderate today's panel. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I'll make sure that every one of us will have sufficient time to cover the key topics that we want to. So let me just take some time to introduce our esteemed panelists. I'll start from my right. We have Mr. Rex Lay, Managing Director, Singapore Huawei Cloud. Mr. Rex.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Hello, everyone. I'm Rex Lay, comes from Huawei Singapore Cloud and AI Business Group. I have been with Huawei for 12 years, and I worked in Singapore for the last 7 years. And I think the ICT industry is the key enabler for the other industry areas. And Huawei Cloud and AI growing fast in the Singapore and launched last year and bring 210 cloud service and solutions. And I'm very honored to join this panel session and discussing the emerging technology and the impacts of talent. Thank you, Ms. Wong.
Thank you, Mr. Rexley. Next up, we have Ms. Janet Young, Managing Director and Head of Group Channels and Digitalizations at UOB.
Good morning everyone. My name is Janet. UOB, we operate across 19 geographies with the sole purpose of serving our customers, support their growth, and help them to improve their lives and financial well-being. At UOB, myself, who takes care of distribution and delivery channels across the countries, serving all the customer segments from individuals, SMEs, and corporates. Actually, we serve the fintechs as well. We try our very best to employ different new models and omni-channel to improve digitalization, customer experience and advocacy, as well as working with ecosystem partners like fintechs and digital platforms to help transform our customers' business model and improve their financial lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Janet Young. Next up, we have Mr. Ng Nam Sin, Chief Executive Officer, the Institute of Banking and Finance, IBF.
Thank you very much. A very good morning to everyone. Very happy to be here. The Institute of Banking and Finance is the part of the Monetary Authority of Singapore. We have 3 major roles. We started off as a skills training body. Then we take on career development and more recently jobs. Today's topic is very relevant because of the impact of technology. We are working very hard with our partner financial institution to see how do we transit finance professionals into tech roles. So we use various schemes, various strategies, which I'm very happy to share afterwards with our fellow panel members and the audience.
Thank you, Mr. Ng. Last but not least, we have Ms. Tracy Lee, Director, Training Partners Group, Industry Development Division at Skills Future Singapore.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tracy from the Skills Future Singapore. I look after the Industry Development Division. And one of the sectors that we look after is the financial services sector. I hope you're familiar with SkillsFuture in the form of my SkillsFuture app, SkillsFuture Credit, and the causes that we support through our funding support. While working with the financial services sector, we work closely with partners like IBF and employers here, UOB and Huawei, to ensure that there's enough training support to help employers to equip staff with capabilities, as well as individuals like yourselves who are interested to grow or venture into the finance sector. So training provision is one of the areas that we are really interested to look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tracy. Before I kickstart with some key questions, just wanted to prompt everyone. There is a chat box located below this webinar screen. Please do join in the chat by posting your questions. I'll pick that up from the screen here. The point is to be interactive. Hope to hear some questions from all of you in the audience. So maybe I'll just kickstart. And given Tracy was just talking, I'll just hand it to her again. We all know that digitalization is disrupting industry, including financial services. While you're helping our workers, what are some key challenges that our workers face when their employers digitalize? And can you share with us what are the support that they may get when they go through this digitalization journey? Yeah.
While I answer your question, I thought maybe I'd just paint a little bit of a big picture for the sector. I think some of you may have already know that 2 years back, MAS, together with the main stakeholders like IBF, launched the Financial Services Industry Transformation Map. Right in there, there's a big vision for the finance sector in Singapore to be a leading financial hub in terms of financial services as well as fintech. And there are business strategies that are listed out in the transformation map, the ITM. In there, there's also strategies on innovation and regulation, and terms like cross-border collaboration, fintech, digitalization, blockchain, electronic payments are all thrown out. Words like customer service experience, UX design. So therein lies the expectation that jobs will change. There will be new capabilities to be built for the sector, and big financial institutions will then be taking the lead in growing these capabilities in-house. Right? And there are also soft skills like mindset change that comes with it, because as we do changes, we all have to be open. The companies have to be open to change. They have to lead the employees. Employees have to respond to be open to changes. So adaptability, digital literacy, self-management, learning abilities all have to be geared up, right? So while we throw out terms like cybersecurity, AI, digitalization, UX, and so on and so forth, really, this is external factors. The big financial institutions are responding to it. Internally, they're looking at customer being the core. So they're looking at changing operating models, business models to cater to customers like us. All of us transact with the banks as consumers. We have seen how the internet versions of the banking, the mobile app versions have been upgrading every month. It used to be every year, every quarter. Now it's every month you see new changes, fixes, interfaces, dashboards that inform customers. So banks already for more than 5 years ago already started to think about how to engage customers. Internally, there's expectations, and they have experience changing the models, processes, even the structure of their departments to cater, to make sure that they are very efficient, productive, to reach out to customers, right? So revenue streams and so on is important. At the individual employee level, I think many of us have experienced simple things like change in our department name, right? Because we have to realign, pivot our mindset to say that we are serving customers differently. So there's change in department name, there's change in our job scope, there's redesign in our job roles. Maybe the bosses and colleagues are the same, but maybe the matrix structure of reporting have changed. Maybe there is also expectation to collaborate with other units so that the banks, the institutions can serve the customers better. And then new skills like digital skills, data skills, customer service skills, all start to come up, right? So there are a lot of, actually the employees are really undergoing a lot of changes over the past few years. It's just how fast the changes are coming. And I think institutions, which later some of our panelists here will be sharing, how they're supporting, what we've seen is that organizations have started to invest a lot more in learning capabilities, learning and development, If the institutions are not big enough to invest in their own core learning and development, they're tapping on external partners, IBF and so on and so forth, to look at training programs out there, bring it in, contextualize it. The bigger institutions have the capability to grow. They invest in L&D departments, they invest in learning systems, e-learning, and there's a lot of change management that they also go into investing. OD, organizational design, communications, supporting systems. We're just talking earlier with Janet, right? How changes are incremental, but because the changes are coming so fast, the frequency of change, the support systems to employees to help them to cope with new KPIs, new job roles have to be there. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And you mentioned Janet. I may just switch gear to Janet then. Just as an employer, I mean, given that we have a lot of schemes and support programs out there, but as an employer at UOB, what are some of the help that you give your employees on top of training to help them kind of get used to digitalization and upskill themselves? And maybe just at this chance, I'm sure there are a lot of employers listening to us as well, if you have any advice for them as well when they go through the digitalization program.
Yeah, thanks Bonnie, and thanks Tracy. I think digitalization is not a destination, right? It is a journey. And I think that because it's a journey, the very most important, I feel, is the leadership, strong leadership and commitment at the very top of any organization. And I think, as rightly pointed out, I think a lot of us around the room feel that this is an important part of what the top team, need to set in terms of the tone and the culture. I think that part is how, at UOB, we see the top team, in doing so. So I would say being able to inculcate digital mindset, right? So the culture and that engagement of the staff across actually all aspects of work and even lives. I think then being able to help them develop digital skill sets, right? And that, I think, with many partners, I think IBF, NTUC, even the Singapore Fintech Association helped us to, conduct a lot of these, plus a lot of partners, the IHLs, Institute of Higher Learning. But, and then the enabling part is to provide them with the tools, the resources, and the platform, right? And it was so interesting. Last week, Namsin and I were sitting on a panel because UOB ourselves, we felt that we can do these in our individual business units or functions, but across the bank, we launched a big program called Better You. We have 26,000 people. In fact, myself, I lead a team of 5,000 across the region. Better You was launched about a year ago, to help the whole bank-wide, adopt both soft skills and digital and data skills for future of work. Then myself, because I take care of distribution, people talk about bank tellers, having the most vulnerable and at risk, a study that was done some time ago. So about 3 years ago, 2017, we embarked on what we call Professional Conversion Program, PCP, with a framework that IBF has helped set up for the whole sector and industry. So if I put this together, what employers and what UOB ourselves have done is we try to inculcate and engage. And because of the top commitment, we have formed a big strategy transformation team. And then that used to guide, the strategy across. And that communication, down the line and up the chain, that becomes the engagement that we do all the time. I think that part helps to galvanize and I guess inspire, right, all the staff to think that, hey, look, our customers are changing. Our customers are today, using the app, and then whenever they like, whenever they want, convenience at their fingertips. So the interaction has to be one that we think of the customer, think for the customer, and then, inculcate things like design thinking, and put all that together. So if we provide them with the strategy and the vision, and then encourage them with the right amount of support, right? Because the top and then the managers, and at the same time provide them with tools and allow them to learn, trial, test out. Nobody gets it right all the first time. And I think that's how we see the whole digitalization as a journey. So I would encourage employers, big and small, to embark on it. And then, at the very top, encourage your team encourage employees to adopt and come forward, and then learn. And learning is a lifelong journey.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what you mentioned, what especially echo with what I believe in, it's the commitment and the tone from the top. As a partner with PwC, we have a 3,000 strong team in Singapore, and I actually take a little bit of HR role as well internally. And I think it's really important to have that vision driving from the top for everyone to get onto the journey together. And as you mentioned, Janet, it's a journey, not really an endpoint. So, I mean, we also talked about skill set. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on skill set. Just naming one of the report that IBF and MAS actually launched last year, impact of wider integration of data analytics and automation of manpower in the Singapore financial services industry. So I just wanted to hear from you, Nan Singh. How do you think our landscape has been? Has it changed a lot since then? Has it been very significant in terms of digitalization and upskilling of skill set? What are some other skill sets that you think we're still missing in this financial services sector?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
So I think good to mention again that I think the effort by the industry led by MAS and IBF started way before we commissioned this study. The government and I think the industry leaders recognize that the technology wave is coming, and we do need a certain sense of urgency to transform and reskill our workforce. So for the financial sector, MAS and IBF took the lead to commission this study. It's useful to take a look at this study if you have not, because I would say it's probably one of its kind in the world where we dive deep into specific roles. So the consultant identified 121 roles in the finance sector, covering insurance, banking, and asset management. And they look at a 3 to 5 year time frame in terms of the impact window. The study identified a few trends which I think is worth recapping. The study basically found out that 1 in 3 finance roles would be highly augmented by technology, meaning that if you are a finance professional, you leverage technology, and that would allow you to accelerate and enhance your performance many times beyond what a normal human is able to do, so-called traditionally or in the past. So, human beings working side by side with technology. So 1 in 2 roles. The study also pointed out that 1 in 3 roles would be highly transformed, which means that most of the tasks of these roles can be taken over by technology, repetitive tasks, manual. So if you look at how the banking landscape with respect to branch banking has transformed, the impact is really there. You don't need that many bank tellers anymore. Bank tellers has been transformed into becoming what we call digital ambassadors, right? So we need to be careful about this 1 in 3 role, because potentially they could be displaced by technology completely. But having said this, many reports have also shown that very few roles will be totally displaced by technology. But then again, they also say that very few roles will be untouched by technology. So we have to be ready. But since we have launched the reskilling workforce transformation efforts, working together with SSG, WSG, and also our partners in the finance sector, I can say that we have made good progress, but the journey is a long one. So far, our partner banks have committed to reskilled and upskilled more than 5,500 employees. We're making good progress, mainly from the banking sector. So we need to intensify our efforts working with the other sectors, especially the insurance company and also the asset management companies, right? The strategy is a very unique one. We want to be preemptive. We don't want to wait until the banks realize that a group of workers may become redundant, and then we respond. That will be too late. Right, so UOB is one of our pioneer partners in the Professional Conversion Program, PCP, where we preemptively work with UOB to identify workers at risk. At risk meaning that potentially their roles could be taken over by technology. Very important first step. And then we customize what we call pathways, learning pathways, be it structured training, on-the-job training, to bring this group of workers or employees from their current role into future growth roles. So the whole intent is to avoid retrenchment. There could be some at the fringe which we cannot avoid, but the bulk should be redeployed into new roles where their employability runway continues to be long and extended. So that's how we conduct our PCP program.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, from what I hear, there's a lot of program out there, a lot of support for our workers in the industry. Or maybe I just wanted to also hear from Mr. Rex. You have worked in different markets, so not just Singapore. How do you feel as an employer in terms of Singapore talent pool? What kind of skill sets are we looking for, and do you think we're lacking in any?
Thank you. Frankly speaking, I think keep a positive attitude and mindset is most important. Because if you have a positive attitude and mindset, then nothing can ever stop you. And even meeting of the challenges also can be an achievement of target, and also pushing you solve all the difficulties, and then finally you will win the job. And also because the cloud and AI and 5G is a hot topic, and also the stands for the technology trends. So I suggest all the workers can spare your time to learn this technology, and also in future you will be more advantage than others. So like this. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you touch on something that's also a hot topic, like you mentioned. So going on to cloud, which also accelerate digitalization of financial services. Maybe at this point, I also want to just switch gears to a few questions from the audience. I still have questions for you guys I'll come back to, but maybe I'll just make it a bit more interactive since good to hear from our audience. I'll just pick up one question before we switch back to some of our questions that I have. So we talked about cloud. The other hot topic is decentralization, and also, of course, cloud digitalization, platform play actually do accelerate all these. But just open to all four panelists in terms of DeFi, so decentralized finance, decentralization of financial services, where you don't have a lot of hubs. You don't actually concentrate a lot of services within, say, for example, a financial institution, but you elaborate, decentralize that to the ecosystem. How do you think that impact our workforce? And do you think that there will be displacement because of how the entire industry infrastructure is going to evolve? And also, I think there another question that's coming on to that. It's with that, there will be a lot of automation. So just for example, I guess Janet may be very familiar. For a bank, there's a lot of back office reconciliation that's actually being done, but with automation, with decentralization, all these may go away. So how do you feel about these, and any insights to share? Mr. Rex, you want to start first?
Okay. So I want to share some opinion from a vendor, because I worked in the enterprise business group 10 years ago. In that time, every time I sell customer the box, only box, such as switch, router, and firewall, like blah, blah. And in the 2015, once the cloud involved, then there are many SaaS parlors, SaaS APP involved the project. From the customer view, every customer want to get a total solution, end-to-end solution, like from the top to up. Top is the SaaS, maybe software function, and some PaaS, and also infra. So once we enter into the cloud area, then I think the digitalization is a end-to-end solution. So that means the total solution include from the software, hardware, and the cloud and AI plus 5G, and then can fulfill the end customer requirement. So I think this is the whole picture. So maybe all the works can focus the every area which you want to join. So like this. Yeah.
Thank you.
So maybe I can elaborate a little, right? I think with every wave of technological changes comes, some inevitable disruption, but at the same time, it gives rise to, opportunities for innovation, and I think we see that a lot in our transformation journey. If I give, let's say 2 examples, right? I think one is in the automation journey. Most people think, oh, robotics, process automation, right? We have Amy and Eve. One Amy does the mortgage processing, extracting all the data and automate it, and then the other one does trade finance, right? So in doing so, yes, you will take away a lot of the logistics and the production, aspects of banking, but then you require the skill set from the domain perspective, right? So you need domain experts, so the fin in the tech, right? And also people who are familiar with how the processes, are to be organized. In all the automation projects that we've seen, and in fact right now in the transformation committee, in the agile teams, there's always the business part, people who know the domain, and then the tech part, people who actually, really help build the better app, You'll Be Mighty, our digital bank tomorrow, and so on and so forth. And I think the two comes together. So we see that with the transformation, I think whether we talk about our asset management team rolling out robo-advisory, I think that part itself, coupled with the machine-human interaction, right? And I think the machine-human interaction is where a lot of opportunities will come about. Because if you think about it, even in our own journey of doing our global AI hackathon, hundreds of problem statements came about. Every single one requires the human, right, currently in jobs, to bring about the knowledge and the domain, and then think through how you train the machine, how you gather the data, how you process the data, how you organize the data, and then subsequently how you make it sustainable. And then the tech team, the people with AI trained, develop the algorithms. And some of it we work ourselves, some we work with partners, with fintechs outside. And then when they come together, the what I call the missing middle, right? The machine and the human coming together actually helps the iteration of getting better and better. You mentioned Mighty app, right? It's a start version 1. Now I don't know, probably version 30 or whatever numbers that's come about. And I think that iteration keeps going up because we then need, like what I've mentioned to our team, we need to gather the voice of customers, right? So VOC, customer insights, pick them up, insert it back. And in the past, we do surveys, focus groups, but these days we have the quant. Right? We can gather all of this digital. Once it's digital, you can exponentially understand. So if I sum it up and synthesize, I would say that yes, there is a huge amount of impact in the digitalization world, but it provides, for people with an open mindset and a growth mindset, it provides huge amount of opportunities for growth. And I think that's why reskilling and upskilling is quite important. So they learn new things, but they don't discard the old, right? So the experience and the domain helps them to anchor and then bring that fusion and the best of both worlds to come out. It's actually it's not easily done, I must say, but commitment from the top and support from bottoms up, very important. Yeah.
So I'd like to quote this saying just shared at the UOB event. So the saying is the danger is not computers thinking like human beings. The danger is human beings thinking like computers. You know? So I echo what Janet said, right? If your task is very repetitive, manual, document-based, right? Computers will easily take over, and you want to use computers to do those jobs because those are, I mean, hate to use the word, those are very manual jobs, right? It doesn't offer you career excitement, you know. You can't be processing papers every day and feel excited about it, right? So, but you will be excited by thinking about how can I use computers to automate those jobs, right? So, while computers are good at repetitive work, taking over routine work, right? They are not good at innovation. Computers can't innovate, and they are not capable of higher cognitive skills when judgment is needed. So even at IBF, we undertook successfully a few RPA projects, right? Because we process a lot of claims, and you know, Tracy will know processing claims is horrendous type of work because you are trying to process them at the same time, try to detect whether anybody's out there to cheat you, you know, of our grant schemes, right? So is very, very heavy manual work. But we automate that, and then our staff can now focus on detecting patterns and gaining insights to try to see whether there are so-called irregularities. So that is more interesting work, right? Requiring, you know, higher intelligence, higher cognitive skills. So staff feel more motivated. Now I'm a surveillance investigator. In the past, they are just, you know, paper pushers, right? So I think that's a perspective that we need to so-called adopt. You know, as Jeanette said, human beings exercising or using their higher intelligence ability, but comfortably working side by side with machines.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Or maybe I'll do a quick one. I mean, Nancy and Janet and Rex have shared from the. So we talk about opportunities. Actually, what they're talking about is a lot of opportunities, right? And I think the scary thing is when you say your job change, then it's a change, and we tend to think about the negative impact. But big institutions like UOB, like Huawei, can then tell employees where are the opportunities within the institution. So your immediate job change, but there are opportunities that sprout out within the institution that I can direct you to, I can support you to transform into. If you are working in a smaller institution and you find that that job that you're doing is outsourced and really no longer there, that's where institutions like IBF, SSG, WSG come in to then tell you, okay, it's not in this institution, but in other parts of the market, the sector, there are opportunities. And that's why we put in support programs like SGUS, training, to help you to move to those parts if your current employer cannot support you. So while there's decentralization, it sounds scary, but actually there's a lot of growth areas. And like Janet said, right, your fin knowledge is actually anchoring you to grow in those areas. So it's about being open and ready to learn and to explore new opportunities. And that's where all of us are here to support.
Thank you. Yeah. Just actually nicely segue to my next question I have for both Tracy and Namsen. We do know that organizations like all of you here have been very supportive, looking into digitalization by helping your employees grow and maybe move into a different role that's actually more exciting. But I also want to represent another voice where I think there are people who are out there, maybe the employers are not that supportive. There are people who maybe have lost their jobs because of circumstances. I just wanted to hear from Tracy and Namsen, do you have some programs that you like to share that maybe support them onto going to their other career or mid-career switch? Or just to retrain themselves. Maybe I'll start with Tracy first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mentioned the term SGUS, right? It's an upgrading program, and for people who have lost their jobs or currently in between jobs, it's a good opportunity to actually look at the list of courses that's offered under the SGUS program. If you go to the internet, you'll be able to see there are institutions that offer courses in growth areas in ICT, in finance, in digital, and digital is found in almost every sector. From retail to tourism and so on and so forth. And then there are also companies, big companies like Google, who are and IBM and Microsoft, who are all trying to offer courses in this area. And the support is not just in terms of the training, and if you need further support to pay for training fees, there's net off from the funding, there's at SkillsFuture credit. There's also support in terms of allowance while you attend a full-time training to find yourself a better job or improve your employability. During that minimum 6-month training, there's allowance given that helps to support the unemployed financially while they're undergoing training. So these are the support systems in place. And I think Nam Sin will share about the conversion programs that IBF has purposely tailored to help workers transit into the finance sector.
Yeah, thanks Tracy. So this effort is an important one, I think, for the various government agencies, SSG, WSG, IBF, our partner banks, right? We do have to enhance our effort to help job seekers or people impacted by the current economic situations. So what MES have done is we have put aside a $90 million budget, which was announced in April, to enhance our training incentive schemes. For example, now we support up to 95% of course fees for individuals, undergoing training. On top of that, we provide a training allowance grant to the trainees. So since April, we saw a 65% increase in training participation and a 7 times increase in training participation by self-sponsored individuals. So that's quite a big jump, right? So if while you are looking for a job, I think it's always worthwhile to invest in new skills. Will help you in your job search. A very successful attach and train program is one that we call TFIP, Technology Immersion Finance Program, where UOB is also one of our major participants. In fact, this is a very good experiment where we take candidates from the non-finance sector into the finance sector. So we take people with minimally STEM background and then convert them into technology role through a structured training and the on-the-job training program with the banks. So 21 banks participated. They took up almost close to 300 candidates, training in 5 areas: AI, cloud computing, full stack, which is application development, data analytics, and cybersecurity. So with this success, we intend to expand into more areas. It could be UX, UI, project management, digital marketing, right, using the same model. We will also be launching more career fairs. We did a very successful virtual career fair in August, where we attracted, I think, 1,000 over participants, is to allow, I think, job seekers another platform to make connections, right, and to understand changing demand for different job roles, as what Tracy mentioned, right. I think job seekers also need to be open, to new job roles. I think it may be difficult to say I'm in one job, I got retrenched, I want the same job with similar pay. I think they have to be open to being reskilled and transformed into maybe alternative roles, right? That's where understanding skills is very important, right? Focus on skills. Skills are portable, jobs are less portable, right? So once you have the skills, then that's where another service of IBF come into play, which is our career advisory, right? We can advise you on adjacent job roles based on your skills top up, and help in the matching, right? So it's a very important group of job seekers. We need to so-called place our effort in helping them.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing. And you mentioned non-finance to finance. This is where maybe I'd like to dive a bit more, especially with employers, UOB and Huawei. So I mean, we have a lot of programs to retrain, reskill a lot of our professionals. But from an employer perspective, where do you think some of the roles within your organization can be open to non-financial job seekers? And do you have any advice from them? A lot of them, from we hear from Nam Sin, maybe taking this time to retrain, reskill themselves, is there any specific skill set that you think they should actually invest into so that it's easier for them to move into a financial services role? Maybe we start with Rex first. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so my advice would be always keep update and equip the industry news. So once you decide the industry target, then you should be immersing the industry terminology. So join the professional groups online and also join some event like this today, and also to learn the industry knowledge and meet more new people. So in my company, I feel that those that company easily open for the mid-career transition will be the roles that need to the cross industry transferable skill set. So job seekers should be also update the resume to express your story and show how your current skills and abilities are transferable. You should prove to the employer. So, and also you can through your friend to express you consider a move and share the details and what you want. So prepare to the job view. I think when you are changing your careers, you will need to convince the interviewer that you have got the right qualification and the job. So I think never give it up. Maybe once you fail in the first round, you need to find what is the problem and try to resolve it. And I think maybe try again, and then you will win the job.
Yeah, good advice. Yes, to persevere and also to understand what's out there to actually tailor yourself to the market as well. Jenna, do you have anything to add from your perspective?
Yeah,
yes.
Actually, I like what Rex said, right? So I mean, in the COVID period, we all have to be resilient. You know,
yeah,
and I think
exactly.
we're all very resilient in Zoom and Teams. We're very resilient. But I think back to your earlier question. Actually, a bank is a very complex organization. We hire actually people from all walks of sectors. From people from the hospitality area, right? So we've hired people from airlines, from hotels, to serve in many of our customer service roles. Huge number. Of course, we also hire people from tech, right? From big tech firms, from tech firms. People who specializes in all types of data, AI, and right now increasingly a lot of what we call API related services that requires them to look at integration. Right? Integration to the core banking layers as well as to the external ecosystem partners. So if I look at it, I was just counting, I was just writing out last evening, we hire people from tax, from legal. I've hired webmasters that come from ad agencies. I've hired people from the media sector to build beautiful content for our online portal to provide insights so that we can beam it and let people engage from everywhere. So of course, the obvious roles in tech is we hire a lot of people. In fact, we still are looking for people from tech, so you can help me. We really are still working quite hard in all forms of tech. People also in the hardcore professionals, right? We have lawyers, finance folks, tax folks, and so on and so forth. So I can't think of people who want to join us from a different sector, who will not find an opportunity. So what advice do I have? I think I go back to purpose. I think there are many banks, there are many financial institutions. We all have very different purpose and mission in life. We also have very clear-cut desire, as to how we want to strategize with the resources and the strengths that we have. So if I take, let's say, UOB as an example, for people who wants to, join us, they need to know that we are a large, regional bank with a footprint across 19 countries, but we really focus on ASEAN. So for people who are, very keen, in the hinterland or wanting to find growth and opportunities, in our hinterland of ASEAN, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, all of these growth markets, and interested and curious with the mission that we have, which is to improve our customers' lives, to help them grow, to, want to make, them financially well, and I think if you align with that purpose and you say, okay, I believe in this purpose, right? I believe in this purpose, I want to join you, then, understand a bit of our culture, right? UOB is, we believe that trust underpins, banking. Yeah. So yes, we can be very digital. We have tomorrow digital bank launch. We've just launched UOB Infinity that provides business users with a beautiful dashboard, access to information 24/7. They can, treasurer, CFO can do it on an app, and, anywhere. But at the end of the day, it is about relationships. It is about the trust that we have their well-being at hand. It's about wanting to make sure that as we use finance as a horizontal, right, because we can support all areas of growth, different sectors, and finance as a vertical because we grow the sector itself, the two will come together and the two can make both Singapore as an economy as well as the community a much more vibrant place, right? I think if they believe in it and they understand about what UOB stands for, and they come and share our cause and have a growth mindset, I think, the skills they have and the potential that they show, we have a lot of opportunities to train them. Yeah,
so I absolutely agree with you. Sorry, Tracy, on the end? Yes.
I want to share the HR angle. Because prior to my current role, I was in the HR department in SSG. And what we noticed in HR field, because this question about applications, right? And I'm sure the big financial institutions, the big firms like Huawei receive a lot of applications. For the job roles, they may be recruiting a lot, but they also have high ratio applicants. And what institutions are doing now are leveraging a HR tag to screen resumes. And not known to many applicants is the HR department do some form of vetting, but a lot is vetted through technology, right? So how you bring out your skill sets, your experience in a resume helps. Some of these things, sometimes a career counselor may be helpful in looking at how you rewrite your resume to bring out certain capabilities. Sometimes there are templates on the internet that helps you. These are all improving your chances of being picked up, right? And it's true, I mean, institutions have HR, but there's only so many they can screen at one time. So that's where other institutions like IBF, like the BSG, career counselors can help, actually. They can facilitate the conversations with institutions they know they are hiring and help to position and facilitate the conversation. So I think in terms of looking at opportunities, there are the self-help type. There's the type where you tap on IBF and so on and so forth, where they provide the network opportunities. So we encourage people not to give up and to keep trying. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So may I want to broadcast because white cloud growing fast. So we need more talent within cloud service and skills, and we can serve together. We can work together, serve to the Singapore financial service customers. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. That's a job advertisement for you, all of you there. Yeah, and thanks also, Tracy, for making my moderation quite easy because I actually want to go into the next question on the recruiting process. It's actually a question posted by one of our audience. I think it's one of the more popular one. If we can see question 3, I'm trying to interpret this question. It's quite short, but in my interpretation, it reads, it is hard to get past HR vetting in finance, though we have the required skill sets asked for. How can that be solved? And we all mentioned about writing resume, making sure that it's tailored to the job description and something that they're looking for. My interpretation is potentially sometimes HR may not really truly understand what the business needs, and it has been evolving So there could be a little bit of a misplacement and mismatch. So just want to hear from all of you. Do you see that problem, and do you think that something can be done to make sure that the whole process can be a bit more streamlined and that we can match the right skill set to the right needs? Yeah.
Maybe I start off. I take off from Janet's point about actually the bank, the institutions look out for a variety of talent sets, right? And not the traditional finance one. So she talked about media and so on and so forth. It's right, sometimes HR department do need to catch up with business needs. And actually very often when the line of business realize that the resumes coming in is not meeting my requirements, or I want something that's a variety, actually businesses do tell the HR, can you also explore media type, animation type, social, digital kind of thing. Don't give me the traditional type of resumes. And that's where HR will then help to look out for. But as I mentioned, actually a lot of big companies are using HR tech to screen nowadays. Actually it does help to rewrite resumes in skills and capabilities to bring that out so that the HR technology, that part where the technology is trying to learn to pick up keywords, can pick it up. So I think that's where we really need to brush out on the way we profile ourselves.
If I could add, I think most of us know that HR plays a very critical role, right? Because they're the main interface when it comes to recruitment. And generally, I think there's no market failure when a business unit say, I want this person of these certain skills, job experience, so on and so forth. HR will go to the market to look for this person. So there's no business failure here. So at IBF, we are trying to think about the talent pool a bit differently, right? So this is where I think our Attach and Train program comes into play. How do we identify pools of potential talent? We're not saying ready talent, potential talent. So I go back to my earlier TFIP example again, right? If you leave it to the market forces, these candidates from other sectors will never find a job that will meet the needs of the HR criteria. Because HR say you need to have 10 years experience in cloud, so on and so forth. They won't qualify, right? So we need to think about it transformatively to say they have some STEM background. Is our HR partner in the banks ready to work with us to curate a learning pathway? It will take longer, right? Not, they won't be ready to hit the ground and run from day one. But if you partner with us to train them over a span of 18 months to 2 years, potentially they can become good cloud computing expert. Takes more time, but the whole industry works together. And then collectively, we develop this pool of talents in Singapore. As compared to say, I poach from you, you poach from me, I train, you take, you train, I take. Right? So that is not sustainable. Right? So this is the new model that we are trying to work on, so to say. And HR will be our main partner.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. We'll just probably have just about 5 minutes left, but I was just going to do one question before we wrap up. I'm just going to attempt to combine two questions. Actually, they were directed at Janet, but I'm going to open up to everyone. But it's this topic on culture, which we talked about earlier. And I'm just going to take a question earlier on middle management. So we talked about the tone from the top, the commitment from the top. But how do we ensure that it actually flows through the organization, and especially with the middle management, very key decision maker, actually hire and develop talents within the organization. How do we ensure, and how do you actually measure success at that level, and how do you instill that culture all the way throughout the organization? Maybe given that it was directed at Janet, I'll get Janet to share first, and then all of you to chime in if you have.
Yeah. So I mentioned the topic of culture is a very big thing for us at UOB. And if you know our group CEO, Mr. Wee Chong, you will know that the bank believes a lot that culture is anchored in values. And you see it everywhere in the way we address our shareholders, our investors, and of course, most importantly, our employees and our customers, right? And of course, right now, the whole stakeholders. it's interesting. I think I joined the bank, it's about 5 years now I'm with the bank. The part when the bank, had the UB 80, when we celebrated our 80th year, that was 2015, the year I joined. There was this major communication, right, about ensuring that we anchor banking around values. And in fact, that's the year after we've incorporated values into the scorecard. So, 30% of every of our employees' scorecard actually has values. And you'll be thinking, how do you kind of do this? It's so intangible, right? So it's all about value in action, right? So our values of the being committed, right? Being committed to what you do, being united, so that we collaborate as a team. Because these days nobody can solve any single thing by ourselves. Even in bank, we have to work with so many partners, just around the room, right? IBF, and I'll talk about fintech or digital ecosystem players, or even with our large customers. So the commitment, the unitedness. I think then the two most important thing about the enterprising spirit, right? Because you need innovation. You cannot just get stuck in the mud and then say, oh, I throw up my hands. So the enterprising spirit has always defined what UOB is. The most important, I would say, that anchors all of this is about honor. The being honorable, right? Because a banker's word is the bond. You need to be able to say that in doing everything that we do, we have our customers place their trust in us. We need to be able to earn that trust. So if you need to earn that trust, you need to be thoughtful in everything that you design, right? From fair dealing, giving right financial advice, helping customers, SMEs to grow, helping SMEs to go digital, right? This is a big thing right now. We work with IMD and ESG, helping them to transform. We have a FinLab program that does nothing but, we pivoted. After helping fintechs to go to market, we actually, try to match the tech solutions to SMEs who may not have the resource, does not have an IT department, to kind of transform. So I think the values are anchored in the way we do things. Now, it's not something that you put in place and you put the KPIs and then everybody will do it, right? You need a huge amount of effort from the top, the middle, and then the bottom. I think that once you put it into daily communication in engagement, you reward and you call out great behavior, you recognize. We run staff engagement surveys. We also run NPS scores for our customers to see that what we say what we do what we say, that sort of stuff. It holds up. So I think culture is really anchored on values. I think once you have that values and culture in alignment, over time, the organization will move, forward in the same way. Yeah, so I did PCP with IBF, right? Worried that my, 5,000 people, I brought it to the region. So 1,001 in Singapore, I think we'll complete almost all of PCP by, we read about 900 plus, about 1,000. And then Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and all the rest. So I would say that it can be done, very constant communication, engagement, and then anchoring our values. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Janet, for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're running short of time. I'll just take this chance to really thank all of you. I've learned a lot as well, a lot of keywords today, but just as a wrap up, just want to see if every one of us, just a quick one word that you want to leave with our audience to allow them to remember what we talked about and for them to go forward and towards transformation, towards upscaling for new financial services. Maybe we'll start with Rex.
One word?
Yeah.
I think one word is self-motivated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One word, okay. I was going to say self-directed, but I think growth mindset. Growth mindset, and be open. Learning is a lifelong journey.
Yeah. So I would say the same. Self-directed learning. Expect your career to be impacted by technology more than one time in your career.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tracy.
So I think similar word, adaptability, and I think we mentioned resilience quite a bit.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hear self and resilience quite a lot. So I think everyone will hear to, of course, first take care of yourself. Make sure that you upskill, talk to people, edit your resume. Maybe you can send it to Rex since he has already posted an advertisement. But with that, thank you so much for your time today. It was a great chat. Thanks for all the insights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our esteemed speakers for that informative panel discussion and for sharing your deep insights and experience in answering the questions from the audience today. Up next on the agenda, presented by the NUS Fintech Lab on the topic of AI and the future of banking. With the growth of fintech, more consumers are changing the way they conduct their banking activities and bring disruption to the banking sector. We have two speakers who are sharing more with us. Associate Professor Keith B. Carter, the Director of NUS Fintech Lab, and Mr. Turain Tun, Head of Financial Services Industry, Google Cloud, JPAC. Their session has commenced at 10 a.m, so do click on the next session button located at the bottom of this page, and I will see you there.